Welcome back. My name is Steve.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Steve, and this is Streaming Andor Season 2. This week we're doing episodes 4 through 6 all in one go. Phil and I just finished watching the episode last night, but now we're here early in the morning recording this for you. Phil, how you doing this morning?
I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'm here. I'm with you, so things are good.
That's the rough part about covering this show in particular without screeners, because it's like, oh, we watched it. Now we got to do research and sleep and then come back and record. So it's a little bit of a mad dash, at least for me. I don't know. I'm sure after we
I'm sure you do more than I do.
Oh, man. It's fun, though, because I get to watch Star Wars with my best friend and we get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Listener, what we're going to do today, we're going to break down episodes 4 through 6. We're going to give you our overall thoughts first. Then we're going to go do a breakdown of all 3 episodes. We're not going to go super scene by scene, but we'll go a little bit more deeper than you might think.
A few deep cuts.
Yeah, a few deep cuts, maybe. Then we're going to go into our top 3 favorite moments of the 3 episodes, and then our favorite performance out of all 3 episodes. But also, we have a little bit of a MadLibs section we got to do as well at the beginning and end of the episode. Before we get into that, though, I've got some business right at the top. If you like listening to this, check out our The Last of Us coverage with myself, Kit, and Andy. We're covering the HBO Max show right now. Also, if you like what you hear on both shows, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/streamingthings. There you will get a variety of perks and bonus content and ad-free episodes. We're covering Game of Thrones on there. We're covering, we just finished Midnight Mass. We're going to be doing some random movies. Firefly, we're going to be covering in the summer. So if you like Firefly, consider supporting us there. But you don't have to. If you just want to rate and review the show, 5 stars preferably 5 stars, please. You can do that as well, or email us at streamingthingspod@gmail.com. But Phil, we have a very special guest today. He couldn't join us last week in person, but we have him here with us today in studio. It's GONK. Hey, buddy, how are you doing today? Man of many words.
Yeah. Deep.
It's incredible because I feel like a proud parent, Phil, because we, more so you, birthed this thing into the world.
I made that shit 20 years ago in my parents' basement from 2 storage tubs and an old computer.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like hard drives and motherboards and shit taped onto it.
Looks like it's coming apart a bit at the bottom there.
Yeah, and it was a costume. We used to hop in that thing and walk around and just gonk at people.
It's lived in your mom's basement for the last, 10 years at least?
I think I got it in 2010. So yeah, 15. I found the 2 of us carved our names into it as if it was a painting and then put the year. 2007 is when we dated that. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That's amazing.
But GONK, does it make you uncomfortable knowing your origin? Does that give you some sort of existential crisis? Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh.
GONK has 2 daddies.
2 daddies for GONK. Aw. What a lovely story. He came from a home of love.
Yes.
Yeah.
And parts from probably Home Depot.
This is what it takes to make a child. Yeah. A loving home and parts from Home Depot.
Exactly.
Well, do you 2 jabronis want to help me craft this week's MadLibs?
I mean, I'm down if GONK is.
GONK? He's down.
Yeah.
He's down, that clown. What we're going to do is these 2 jabronis are giving me the words so I can put pen to the paper and craft a story that you will listen to at the very end of the episode. So stay tuned for that. But first up, Phil, you're on the chopping block first.
Uh-oh.
I need a noun.
Ooh, let's go with underpants.
GONK, can I have a silly word? Boinkadoodle. Okay, I like that. That is a silly word. Phil, can I have an adjective?
Wet. Just for the record, I am trying my hardest to be raunchy, even though every instinct in me doesn't want to be. But I know from experience that not being raunchy on these does not work comedically. So
I love your delivery of someone who's not into raunchiness. You're just like, wet. Fine.
Wet.
Underpants. The sexiest way to describe those.
I'm trying, and okay, it doesn't come naturally to me.
Ooh, baby, take off them underpants. GONK, can I have a plural noun? Handcuffs. Okay.
Wow.
See, that's how you say sexy things.
I know. He's just so good at it.
Phil, can I have a color?
You know what color.
Colonial Pews.
There you go.
GONK, can I have a noun, please? Lube. All right, he's ready to go.
To be fair, though, a GONK droid probably would use lube.
Lubrication is
Sure.
like a thing every droid needs, I think.
Oil baths.
Oh, it's going to feel so good.
There you go.
Can I have an occupation plural, Phil?
Circus clowns.
All right, GONK, can I have an adjective, please? Sultry. Okay. Phil, give me a verb.
Thrust.
GONK, can I have a plural noun, please? Thigh highs is a plural noun. Phil, can I have a verb in the past tense?
Streamed.
GONK, I need a verb, please. Caress. Phil, I need another verb in the past tense.
Painted.
GONK, can I have an adjective, please? Lusty. I've been a lusty GONK. Lusty. Ain't someone gonna match my GONK? I need a plural noun.
Freaks.
GONK, can I have a noun, please? Whip. Whip it good. Big fan of Devo.
Ding, 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 ding.
Can I have a city, Phil?
Jakarta.
GONK, can I have a verb in the past tense? Fondled. All right, well, that concludes the word gathering section of this episode.
It's tough.
Tune into the end of the episode to hear the story that these two jabronis created, titled Prepare for Battle. Well, Phil, with that all the way, let's say goodbye to GONK. Bye, GONK. We'll see you at the end of the episode.
See you, GONK.
Bye, buddy. All right, now that he's gone,
God.
let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
What did you think about these 3 episodes, my guy?
Ooh, I've been thinking about this for the last 9 hours. I think this is a great show. I love this show. I really enjoyed the first 3 eps. I will say, I think this was a little slight slump for me. Not because it's bad. It's just when people say that Andor is a slow show, I really didn't get that. But I think episodes 4 and 5 were a little bit slow.
Okay.
And I get what they're doing, and it's great. They are setting the pieces up for what's to come, and I respect that. But I don't think I had as much fun watching those 2 as I did the last 3, and of course all of season 1. Not to say that these are bad eps, because they're not. But I will say that episodes 4 and 5, I think, were just a little bit of a dip for me.
What's it like supporting the Empire?
But I'm glad they did what they did because, like I said, they are setting up the pieces for what's to come, and you need that. And there's still a lot of stuff to enjoy. And then I think episode 6, because we actually had some moments of real tension.
Oh yeah, episode 6 is really tense.
Yeah, that brought it back. But I think 4 and 5 were just a little bit of a dip for me. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think they were great. It's just maybe not as engaging and as fun as the first 3.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah. What about you?
So it's interesting. When someone says that Andor is slow, I can absolutely 100% see where that person's coming from. Because it is a methodical pace. Mm-hmm. It's an intentional pace.
Yes.
They're grappling with a lot of real human emotions and ideals that you don't necessarily always see in TV and film. Mm-hmm. And I think what the creators of the show really want to do is really let you, the viewer, live and sit in the moment. In a way, it kind of reminds me of what my thoughts were of the most recent Batman movie, which is so weird to say. The Matt Reeves version, because that movie actually lets you sit in a room with the Bat as he was there's long scenes of him just walking around a room looking at things. And he is discovering the crime scene with the audience. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's slow and that's methodical. And it is.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that it's visual storytelling.
Sure.
In that regard. This one, these episodes, I really appreciate because they continue all of Andor's themes of how fractured rebellions are created. Mm-hmm. They should be working together to fight the Empire, but they're still fractured and they don't trust each other and they don't know. And I think that's really great. It creates this air of tension and who do I trust? And it creates a nice little sandbox for the characters to play in.
Sure.
And where danger lurks around every corner. But what these 3 episodes in particular are really doing, especially with characters like Bix, Cassian, Lonnie, to a lesser extent, even Cyril, I think what they're doing with is interesting. But they're showing what the personal cost is to a person who has decided to go through this lifestyle of standing up against a really powerful regime.
Right.
And how closing yourself off from relationships, what Vel and Cinta are doing, how that can affect your emotional state, how it can make you not be able to sleep like Bix, how it can drive you crazy like Saw Gerrera. And I really appreciate that they're showing the very different ways this can affect people.
Sure.
I think that's powerful stuff. But also I love learning about weird, silly cultures in Star Wars. It's one of my favorite things. And you get to learn a lot about Ghorman or Space France, as it's better known. Right. And just down to the here are these people who come from a rich planet that only deals in the finer things in life. They wear really nice clothes but they've just, the eye of Sauron, as it were, has looked at them from the Empire, and now the Empire's putting their thumb on their whole entire planet, and how these people who are have never gotten their hands dirty, come from everything, are trying to form some sort of rebellion, and they're not really great at it. What?
NIMBYs,
yeah. Total NIMBYs.
Don't build this on our land.
No, we don't want this.
No.
I just really like how they showed, because usually in a lesser show, it'll be we're the rebel faction, and we're just scruff and down on our luck, scrappy underdogs. And these people aren't really underdogs. They come from a place of privilege, but they're trying to form something they've never had any sort of hand at doing.
Right.
And I appreciate that. I think that's cool, because their struggle is just as real as anyone else's, but it's just different coming through the lens of a Cassian Andor who has
experience doing this.
Yeah, they're our world is being torn apart, and from Cassian's point of view, it's what are you're wearing $1 million outfit, dude? What are you talking about?
Right.
I come from a planet of children that had no parents, and there was a mining disaster and all this stuff. So it's really cool, and it makes the personal interconnections fascinating. And then the last thing I really want to gush about this episode is just I fucking love Saw Gerrera.
I know, he's really good in this.
He's good in everything. I love how weird Forrest Whitaker plays that character.
Yeah.
Just so off-putting and are you coming to kill me?
He's so he's so smart, but he's awkward as hell in every interaction. And it's very hard to he's the kind of guy that I would feel so uncomfortable around, just because I don't know which way he's going to go next.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Can you imagine that guy at parties? I can't imagine that guy letting his hair down, as it were. You and I would be at a party oh man, did you play the new Battlefront game? Yeah, it's really good. And he'd come up and be did you know rebellion requires sacrifice?
Okay,
bud. Do you play Capture the Flag in Battlefront? What's going on? I play real war and lose all my friends. Will you be my friends? Sure, I'll be your friend, so I will send you to the meat grinder. And he shoots your friend. Traitor!
Jesus Christ.
He served me a cheese cube, and I'm lactose intolerant. There's going to be a lot of Saw Gerrera voices this episode. I'm sorry about that.
I'm not.
Well, what do you think? Should we get into the recap of the episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Before we do that, though, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. And we're back. It's time to get into the nitty gritty of these episodes. Let's begin with episode 4, Ever Been to Ghorman? Which Disney Plus describes thusly. Cassian and Bix adjust to a Luthen safe house. All eyes are on Ghorman. Wilman visits Saw Gerrera. Come on down. Haven't seen you in a long time. But it's 1 year later from the previous episode.
Huge jump in time.
Yeah, whole last year. We were at 3 BBY, which I don't know if we talked about last episode, but the BBY is the Star Wars sort of timeline. It's your BC versus AD.
Yes. Big butts, yes.
Big butts, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is 3 years after saying yes to big butts. No, this is 3 years before the Battle of Yavin, which essentially is before Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
It's weird that they knew what to call it. even though the Battle of Yavin had not occurred yet. It's strange.
You're not wrong. I'm so happy that they did this. Do you remember that like for a time Disney was really trying to change the Star Wars time? Because it's been BBY, ABY for decades, right? Like when we grew up, this was always how you tracked how time worked in Star Wars.
Yes.
But for a brief time, Disney was really trying to change that and make it like before the Battle of Starkiller Base, whatever you call that. And after it, like they're trying to make Force Awakens the like before and after section.
No.
And I was like, no, don't do that. That's a dumb idea. So I'm glad they've stopped.
Yes. They did change the word jizz, but they could not make this one stick.
Hey, they couldn't make jizz stick either. Jizz again is the jizz is the canonical.
We've got to add some context here once again.
Not the fluid. We're talking about the genre of music that the Cantina band plays.
What did they rename it?
I don't think they did. Remember we had this.
They did.
They tried to, but it like failed.
Yeah,
miserably.
but they really tried.
Oh, let's.
It's called like jaunts or something like that. Like no, it's a Jats. J-A-T-Z.
Jats? No.
Yeah, Jats. According to looper.com in 2023, the name of the type of music played by the Cantina band in Mos Eisley has been changed from jizz to jats. So it's close, but...
You know what's the great thing about Star Wars?
You can just ignore it.
Yeah. I have my own headcanon.
Yeah.
I do appreciate this little... on Wikipedia, I found Jats on it. They said by the time of the Clone Wars, Jats was considered turgid and outdated compared to more modern genre of leap jump. But Jats experienced a revival under the Galactic Empire. So it's like the 90s revival of big band music.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mambo number 5.
Oh, the big bad voodoo daddies coming in to play some songs.
The Cherry Poppin' Daddies, which is by far the grossest name for any band.
It is.
Fucking gross.
Yep. That's a real band. Look it up. But let's start our episode over in Ghorman. Again, as a reminder, we're going to kind of take these episodes down based off location rather than where they happen in the show. But on Ghorman, Cyril, he's getting ready for work. You know, he's a very pristine guy, putting on his suit and tie. He thinks he notices someone spying on him outside.
In the mirror.
Yeah, and he does a little spy crafty thing where he ties a little thread in front of his door.
Was that a spider web? Or was that just a thread?
Oh, you know, I didn't think of it as a spider web, but I like that if that was the case. I'm sure they're just lousy with that shit on Ghorman.
Probably.
Especially with all the stuff happening with the Imperial blockades and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know what to do with all the spider web. And we get to see Ghorman really for the first time. He's walking around the city streets. It's basically space France. What do you think about the look of Ghorman and feel?
I really like it. It's I actually have somewhere in my notes that I really appreciate the look of this place. Specifically his office reminds me of like if like a 90s mall and the Enterprise D were smushed together.
Yeah.
It's got that vibe to it. Like those, oh my God, those like avocado green computers.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. I just love the whole color story of this place. I got to imagine that like at least half of the budget goes to these sets.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're just so well done. Every single shot is just like rife with just beautiful shit. It's just amazing.
Can we have more beautiful shit in the shot, please? Thank you. And that's another thing I appreciate about Andor is they film a lot like on location, on built sets rather than the volume, which is a very Mandalorian thing to film. Yeah. And it shows. It's just a much more lived in, real looking. Yeah. I mean, not that the volume's great. Don't get me wrong. The volume is great. I just don't want people to use that as a crutch with filmmaking, which I think they're starting to kind of do with a lot of the Disney shows. Yeah. Cyril gets into his office. He seemingly had some sort of promotion in the Bureau of Standards. He's now the head of this department on
he's got a team.
Ghorman. Yeah, he's running it. He's calling his mom. So I guess that little
ultimatum that Dedra gave her in the last series.
Yeah, seems to be working out because he's in more contact with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that the propaganda whisper campaign that the Empire has been sort of doing against Ghorman is working to a T, because Edie's like, I don't know why you like those Ghormans. They're awful people. They mock Emperor Palpatine. Oh, how dare they? Such a nice man.
She's been watching Fox News.
Yeah. I mean, I can very easily see like a Hannity like, why are all these Ghormans saying mean things about Palpatine? I'm just asking questions.
Right.
The man was scarred by the Jedi, and you have the nerve, I think, to make fun of him. How dare you? How dare you and the spiders you stand on? It really is like going home and talking to your parents. Like, okay, I think you're watching too much Imperial news. Okay. But as he's doing this, we keep getting shots of these other people spying on him. We later find out that they are the Ghorman Front, the burgeoning rebellion that's happening on the planet.
Resistance.
The parallels between it's so on the nose, but I like it.
Yeah.
Eventually he's sort of walking home, and one of the people that were spying on him is acting like some sort of tourist trinket sort of person. He's like, oh, you want a spider? That's what we're known for. It's what the tourists love. You should take this one seriously, though. There's a meeting and you want some information. It's great.
Yeah.
They see something in Cyril.
Yeah.
And I like, as the audience, you're like, what? I don't know if we can. Why would you do that? Cyril's bad. He bad news.
Yeah.
Why are you trusting this guy?
We know, they don't.
Yeah. But I think they do enough in the earlier parts of this episode to make you think, what's happening? Why is he so okay with this?
Well, so in my mind, I was like, well, he must be there because Dedra is in charge of this now. So I didn't trust him from
the. Well, I don't think you should.
Yeah.
I don't think you should. And he's walking past some protesters in the town square. Yeah. There's a monument there. We later find out what it is. Yes, some NIMBYs. They're protesting the Empire building a new facility right next to this town square, which has this monument that we later find out was because General Tarkin parked a fucking starship on people.
He's just like, I'm going to land here.
Those people are in my parking space. That'll teach them. No, they're dead.
Tarkin has never been a good guy. But holy shit, dude. Like, this is like another level of bad. This takes him up like at least 10 more notches.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
This is a thing that's always sort of been talked about in the background of a lot of the extended universe Star Wars properties, like your Rebels and stuff like that. And a lot of people were assuming that this series would culminate in the Ghorman Massacre, which is what this incident is called. So it's kind of interesting, like, oh no, the Ghorman Massacre happened a while ago. Well, we're dealing with something new on Ghorman, which is interesting. A nice little subverting of expectations.
Right. Although that's not to say there couldn't be another one.
Ghorman Massacre 2.
Maybe they're subverting you again by making you think that was it.
Oh.
And there's one to come.
What is subversion?
Ooh.
What a twist. Cyril sees that the seal in his apartment door has been broken. He reads there's like a scroll in the spider. It's an invitation to a town meeting. Before he goes to that meeting, though, he returns to his office. There are some like dumb Imperial officers. They're like, can't be in here. It's closed. And the one guy's like stuffing his face in the background watching pod racing. I'm sure it's an illegal stream.
I love that guy so much.
Yeah. I love how they always show these Imperials guys to be so
big, dumb, oafy.
Yeah, they're so like Andor said it best. They're so happy and fat.
Yeah,
you know, they're just sitting there like drinking their coffee. And what? Sure, human rights, whatever. But they let Cyril in, and what is he actually going in there? I know we see like he goes by a space Roomba, which maybe left, but he grabs his iPad.
Yeah.
What was the iPad for?
He has to make the call to Dad.
Oh, that's a special girlfriend phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I assume.
Okay. Yeah, because he calls her in the next scene and is like, I found him. This has to be the Ghorman Front. That has to be them.
And we learn that she's all the way back on
Coruscant.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So she's not even there.
Mm-hmm. So he is there
as a mole
for her, under her.
And to stir the pot behind the scenes.
Yeah. Which is like Cyril's dream.
Yeah.
Not only does he get to do high profile, risky stuff for the Empire, but he's working under mommy. Yeah. mommy girlfriend?
Lights out, baby.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that. But he goes to the meeting and there's a lot. It's a heated government meeting, right?
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think he speaks space French? Because
No.
I just like, as I'm watching this scene, I'm like, does he know what's going on and what's being said? Or is he just like just trying to like figure out the vibe just based on like how it's said?
It's interesting because you never see him actually interact with someone speaking space French, which is like the Ghormans have their own language. And I love that they lean into that really hard.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But he's never interacting with someone in a way that would indicate that he knows what they're saying.
Yeah, right.
Which isn't to say he doesn't. But
Right. He might speak enough to get by.
Yeah, he can ask where the toilet is.
Yeah. But where is the discotheque? But I don't think he like speaks it the way that they all do.
Yeah.
Because they speak basic.
It's English according to the captions.
I know, which we both did not appreciate.
We had the biggest nerd moment. The English language in the Star Wars canon is called basic.
Yeah.
And so when the captions wrote in English and then someone says something, we just both like, actually.
It's called basic. Yeah.
Tony Gilroy doesn't have
respect for Star Wars the way we do.
But what did you think about the meeting as a whole? Like, how did you think it went?
Good.
This is the insight that I ask you to come on to the show for. Yeah. The people need to hear this.
I thought it was fun to watch them sort of get riled up and like see the beginning of them. Like, obviously, like we have to do something about this. We don't know what yet, but like we've got to like figure this whole thing out quick because we're losing time. And
yeah, they're really worried about the Empire's building.
Yeah.
Because again, they're like, this building is casting a shadow over our memorial to the dead that the Empire killed. And they say it's a storage place or something, but it's like, but we know it's some people think it's an armory. Some people think it's a prison, and it's only a matter of time before they started getting rounded up. But the leaders of the group are just kind of like, guys, by acting rash, we're going to make things worse.
Right.
Calm down.
Right.
And the Ghormans love their hand gestures. They do this little clap. They clap by clapping their shoulder. They say hello by kind of taking their hand, pointing it to their chest, and then opening a door with their hand, like, come inside. And then they...
Like a wrist slap.
Yeah, they do like a slap on their wrist to, I assume, give the middle finger equivalent of what we would do. And I just love... what was that guy's name? I wrote it down. I think
starts with an L.
Lezine. Is that his name? Or Lysine? I don't know how you pronounce it. But he... the way he slaps his wrist, like, oh, that guy told him to fuck off.
Yeah. Aggressive.
The scene is so awkward because as the government meeting's happening, the members of the Ghorman front all like one by one walk over to Cyril. One guy starts translating for him, but they get so close to him and they're looking at him and nothing else. So it's so obvious they're conspiring and bad at this. But what is we find out she's the daughter of Rylance, the leader. What's her name?
Enza.
What up, girl? Longtime listener, Enza. Shout out to her.
I guess we should.
It's hilarious that in Star Wars, the character who is from like Space France is Enza because Enza famously hates the French. So it's twice as funny.
We did geek out when we learned that her name was Enza.
Yeah.
So
high fives all around.
Yeah.
Even Myrtle got in on it.
Yep.
But we really are introduced to Rylance in the scene. He, like I said, he's the leader of the Ghorman front, but he's sort of appealing to Cyril after the meeting saying like, hey man, you can help us. You can make you work within the Empire. You can help us make our appeals more effective. We're drowning in rumors here. Can you please help us? He mentions the tragedy with Tarkin Parkin, his ship on 500 people.
Tarkin Parkin.
500 people.
Hashtag Tarkin Parkin.
Tarkin Parkin. And he says, well, maybe we can do some good together.
Yeah.
Until then, and then they do the little hand thing. For the audio listeners, I did the hand gesture. Yeah. But that's it for Ghorman in this episode. Let's switch
Ghorman
to
salute.
Dakar.
You actually clocked this as the place in Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm. This is
and I had forgotten the name of that place. So
this is the Resistance base
that
they operate out of in the Force Awakens,
which would have been like 25 years, 30 years after these events.
But roughly 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it appears it's the same exact base, which makes sense.
Yeah,
that,
right.
So the Resistance is a like paramilitary unit that Leia founds.
Mm-hmm.
So of course Leia would know where all these old hidden rebel bases are, and this is just one of them that she was aware of. Yes. So it makes sense. I like this world building, that this is just this thing that rebels have been using for a long time. Even the partisans, Saul Guerrero's partisans. Right. And that's who's here.
Right.
But you know who's with Saul Guerrero?
Willman.
Last time we saw him, he was escaping Mineral.
Yeah, he shot that imp who was shooting at Bix.
Well, he was shooting at him, and Bix ended up killing that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yep. Sorry.
But yeah, that's where he was. But now he's assumedly there on behalf of Luthen to give Saul this device that is very complicated to use in order to steal Rhydonium, which is like a very combustible
gas, right?
Starship fuel gas type thing. And I'm going to be honest with you, Phil. Yeah. For a second, I thought Saul Guerrero was going to fuck that device.
Yeah, he's really oddly into this in a uncomfortable way.
Look at you. Look at all your loveliness. Is she healthy? Is she a sturdy gal?
God, you do that so well. It's crazy.
Apparently, because this is a very difficult device to say, like I said, there's like, what did I say, 9 variations on how to use it. And all of them are very complicated. And one misstep will result in people either breathing the gas in and burning from the inside, or just straight burning alive from the outside too.
Yeah.
So they keep
not safe.
No, not safe at all. They keep asking him, who taught you this? And he never tells them.
Nope.
I assume. Well, let me ask you this. Who do you think taught Will this?
Brasso.
Okay.
Maybe.
I think that's a good guess. I was thinking it was his dad.
Who's his dad?
Salmon Pack. He has the name of a fish.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. No, his dad was the one who worked with Bix in the first season, and they both got arrested, and the Empire killed him.
Gorst took him out, right?
Yeah, he was part of the ones that Gorst tortured as well. Yeah. But yeah, you kind of geeked out because, of course, whenever there's Saul Guerrero, there's 2 tubes.
Oh, I love 2 tubes.
Benthic.
2 tubes is my favorite alien design of any new Star Wars thing. It's just, it looks so good.
It really does. Like, they are maybe out of all the new Star Wars, it may be the most iconic aliens that have been created. Really, and there have been some pretty rad aliens that have been created in the new canon.
Sure. Yeah.
But there's the 2 tubes, which is I think the nickname for Benthic, and then his twin brother. Yeah. Erdios, is that his name?
Dude,
it's something similar to that.
There was only one of them in Rogue One, right?
No, there's 2 of them. They hang around. They look the same. They're like identical twins or something. Egg mates.
Oh, maybe I just thought they were the same guy.
That's racist.
Well, they're twins. They look alike. Give me some slack here.
Yeah, Benthic's brother is Edrio. Sorry. You know what's more confusing about the 2 of them?
What?
They both share the nickname 2 tubes.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought it was one guy.
Will is there to train Pluty.
With that booty.
Oh, he wishes.
Traitorous booty.
He wishes. But Saul, ever the rascal he is like...
It's the perfect way to describe Saul. Ever the rascal Saul.
Ever the rascal, he's like, you can't leave. Because Will's under the impression that he'll be there for a day to treat Pluty all the knowledge and then fuck off. He's like, nah, you'll stay here forever at school. We won't feed you, but it'll be nice for me. We head to Coruscant, and this is where like a big chunk of the episode happens. But Coruscant, we start with Bix, who is really grappling with her PTSD from Dr. Gorst. I thought this scene was interesting. It was played as a dream within a dream. So she wakes up from bed. She goes into the living room. Dr. Gorst is there torturing a person we don't know, but we come to find out is a soldier that her and Cassian had some sort of interaction with. We don't know too much about, like, were they working with the soldier or did the soldier just happen upon them? Yeah. And Cassian ends up killing that soldier because he has specifically seen Bix's face. And to protect her from people knowing who she is, he kills her. And the blocking of the scene is interesting because he's torturing her and he's talking to her as if he's under orders from Cassian. Like, I have to kill him. Cassian says he knows your face. Forgot to ask his name. Everyone has their own rebellion, right? I think the scene is meant to show Bix not sure how she feels about Cassian losing himself to the rebellion, or maybe she's also losing herself to it.
Sure.
It's very sad.
It's clear that she has guilt about what occurred. And she's struggling with that on top of the fact that she's got PTSD from this Gorst thing.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a really bad concoction of feels.
And remind us what Gorst did to her.
He put that device on her head that played the scary sounds. And she got real sad about that.
That sounds so infantilizing.
I mean, that's what it is, right? Like,
oh God, it's so scary.
That's what it is. It's the sound of like creatures dying.
Yeah, it's like baby creatures dying.
Drive people crazy.
Yeah. It's these creatures that the Empire genocided.
Yeah.
And the cry, like they have some sort of, their cries have some sort of mental effect on a lot of other creatures.
Yes. But if you boil it down, that's what it is. So it's not like a lethal, well, I guess Wilman's dad, Fishy Eye, he got killed by it.
I don't know if he necessarily got killed by that specifically, but he did die at the Empire's hands.
Yeah, but he got the...
Yeah, he got it.
Scary sounds.
He got the scary sounds.
Yeah. Couldn't do it. Just died.
He couldn't handle it. No. His name was Salmon. Of course he couldn't. But they're living in an apartment that is sort of, it's owned by Luthen. It's meant to be a rebel hideout, safe house.
Safe house, yeah.
A lot of people come and go, and they're just the ones currently occupying it now. But they've been there a lot in Coruscant. And Bix is like, hey, if we're going to be here, we should sort of make this our own. We should get towels and plates and do something about these goddamn windows.
Yeah. We also learn they're together.
Yeah. Really big moment. They're together.
Cabixian.
Cabixian. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So.
I like this couple. Keep them together.
Yeah.
I just hope at one point she's like, you're way better than Tim.
Fuck Tim. Piece of shit.
But she's saying like her PTSD happens the worst when she feels relaxed.
Yeah.
And they're in this like awful sort of in-between state of existence where they're so paranoid about going anywhere. Like they try to go shopping just to get some non-stinky melon for dinner. Yeah. And Cassian just thinks the shop owner's going to turn them in just because the shop owner's like, oh, I haven't seen you guys in a while. I thought I lost you.
To be fair, though, the last time he tried to chill out, he got put in prison.
Yeah.
So he's probably like scared of doing anything outdoors just for fear of like getting pinched again.
I just think that's a good lesson for the audience. Don't go to Myrtle Beach.
Which it makes sense though that like he's like, look, if we don't have to go outside, I don't want to be out. Like I don't want to take my chances because last time I did this it was very bad.
And he's very protective of her. That's a big thing with him and Luthen. These 3 episodes is, the last times that we know of, at least, that he's left Bix alone. In season 1, she was taken by the Empire and tortured. Now she has PTSD.
Right.
Last set of episodes, while he was gone, this Imperial officer sexually assaulted her.
Right.
And tried to do even worse things to her.
Right.
So he's like, I don't want to let her out of my sight.
Right.
And he has this line at one point because they go back to the apartment and she's kind of confronts him about, why did you kill that soldier? Like, I can only see his face now. And initially he tries to comfort her by saying, it'll fade in time. But then he says, we're at war. Not everyone knows it yet. And that guy was a threat. And we are here because he's dead. I have no regrets, not a single letter.
We don't know the specifics, but it's clear that they are in the situation they're in because of whatever occurred on that mission.
And they have dinner. He's a surprisingly good cook.
Well, is he, or is she just like, I don't want to cook, so I'm going to pretend like you're good at this. So
do you do that? You're like, I don't want to cook.
Like,
so, oh my
wife actually is way better at it than me, and we both know it. So, but he's like, I'm not gonna fall for that trick. Like, I know you don't want to do this, so you're just gonna say I'm a good cook. Yeah,
that's good play. But she tells him, if I'm giving up everything, I want to win.
Yeah,
which understandable, completely understandable. The ISB is having a meeting. They're talking about like, we've got all these suspects in custody. We've got all these assets that we've arrested. Why don't we have intel? Partagaz is really upset with a bunch of people. And Lonnie steps up. He says what everyone's too afraid to say. Remember, Lonnie is the spy for Luthen in the ISB, but he stands up and says, hey, we're arresting too many people.
Yeah.
It's an infrastructure situation. We can't handle all this intake. And Partagaz, to his credit, is like, hey,
I agree.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because we've kind of been given little hints into Partagaz, who's like really good at his job, but he also doesn't necessarily agree with what's going on logistically. I think in theory he does.
Yeah.
But he's also like, we're being too rash. We're being too quick. Like, because last episode they were like, we're building an armory in Palmo. And he's like, well, what? Like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So all the other guys, Hirt and who's the older gentleman? I didn't catch his name. He's also been around there.
Yeah, I missed his name too. Sorry.
The two of them are like, oh my God, Lonnie, you saved my ass, bro. But we found out Hirt is now in charge of Axis. He was Daedra's former assistant. Now he's running the Axis campaign.
And Daedra's not too pleased about this.
No, because she's like, hey, if you ever need anything, let me know. And he's like,
I got it.
Near.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow.
Scowl.
Okay.
Scowl.
Okay. Yeah. She hits him with that scowl.
Oh, that scowl's so good.
Andor must be found, but you can have all the glory. And he's like, oh, I don't want glory, girl.
Yeah.
That's my superpower. That's why I keep getting promoted.
But also,
I don't want glory.
He's full of shit too, though. Because later on when he has that interaction with Partagaz and he's just like, I can't wait to do this thing. And he's like, really? Like, calm it down, dude. Like, I think he just likes being in charge of a thing because he knows like, if I do a good job, I'll get noticed and promoted. And he's in it for
he's an Aaron Burr. He wants to be in the room where it happens.
Yeah.
You know?
And shoot Alexander Hamilton.
Dude, spoilers for that play.
Play? You mean historic event?
Wait, it's real? We cut to Mon Mothma. It's like a supercut of her talking to what I assume are all senators trying to get their vote to hold the Empire accountable.
Montage.
Oh, I like that.
Gotta have a montage.
Gotta have a montage.
A montage.
So her big thing is like, why are all the crime rates so high? Like there's like a 20% increase in all these relatively crimeless planets. There's a 30% increase on Ghorman. And she's like, it's fucking Ghorman, those nerds.
Yeah.
And we do know that the Empire has increased. I think it's the PORD was that initiative that was created last season where they're just bringing people in, throwing them in the prisons and having slave labor to build the Death Star parts, essentially. And she's trying to get to the bottom of it. But a lot of the senators, including the Ghorman senator, are so scared or ambivalent about what they're doing.
To chafe the emperor.
Yeah. That sweet old man.
Yeah. It's so funny to see like the people who don't directly have access to this guy, like speak about him in a way that we would speak about like
Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. Like it's funny knowing what we know about this guy. Like he's the worst guy of all time, but they're not sure of like who he actually is. And so they're just like assuming that he's just like, well, like he's got like the best intentions.
Yeah.
But we know that that's not the case.
These scenes are so much funnier when you realize that none of them are aware that he's just an evil space wizard.
Right.
It's so fucking funny.
Right.
Like they just think, oh, I hear Palpatine just paints portraits in his free time and he goes and he's the decider. Lonnie has another elevator meeting with Luthen. And I think Luthen was fucking with that elevator just to be a dick. Yeah. But he tells Luthen Daedra's not on Axis anymore.
Yeah.
She's working Ghorman. He's like, well, fucking Ghorman. Ghorman's lame. Right. What? Why? Huh, interesting. So he knows something's up. Big still can't sleep, but the beacon is flashing. Apparently that's Luthen's sign to the two of them that he's got a job. So Cassian goes and meets with him. It's clean work. I want you to go to Gortham and meet with Rylance, who's running the Ghorman front. They have some sort of vague relationship with them where like a rebel pilot went down on Ghorman and they gave them a radio to help, but he doesn't have enough direct contact with them to know if they're a real front and worth backing or not.
Right.
And so he's not willing to risk his own skin by showing them his face. So he's going to send Cassian to be his envoy.
Yeah.
And Cass and Bix have like one last night where they dance together in a romantic way before he leaves. And as
I hate that scene, it's like, I don't know.
Why do you hate romance and feelings?
It's not that. It's just I feel like that like light hand to hand thing, like you see that in movies and stuff. And I'm like, does anybody actually do that? Is that like a real thing or is that just like a movie thing?
GONK, I need you to do me a favor.
Put on back.
Yeah, GONK, he never left. GONK, I need you to use your little beat boot box to put on some music. All right, here we go. No, not the Mon Mothma dance music. Oh, this is nice. All right, soft music. Okay, all right, come here, Phil. Put your hand out.
I'm not doing this.
Come here. Don't knock until you try it. Okay. That's doesn't that feel nice?
I hate this.
Doesn't that feel nice? Oh my gosh.
I hate this.
I'm so hard.
Jesus Christ.
But Cassian leaves to go on the mission, and the last thing we see is Bix taking some sort of drug? Substance?
Or poison?
Medicine? Poison?
Or Gatorade?
She just wants those electrolytes, I guess. But when this episode ended, what did you think? Were you like, is she poisoning herself? What is going on?
I did, because like the way they made a big deal about them doing their like nose to nose weird hand to hand thing, I was like, okay, this feels like the end of them. Like this, like they really lingered on that, and I was like, okay, this is maybe the last time they'll be together. And I was scared because we don't know the fate of Bix.
That's true.
I'm not convinced Bix is going to make it.
Hot take. I don't think any of them make it. I think they rogue.
I mean, Andor does.
I'm saying every character that doesn't make it to Rogue One is going to be rogued one.
Yeah, probably. But so I was like a little bit concerned for her because I was like, I don't know what substance she's using. She looks very upset. I was a bit concerned that it could be maybe poison of some sort, but I was like, I don't know. Bix doesn't seem like the type that would end Bix. Mm-hmm. So
she's too strong for that.
It just seemed maybe like it was more of a drug to cope with her situation. Mm-hmm. What did you think?
I thought it was some sort of drug, but I was a little confused because it did have like a more, because it's in a bottle with an eyedropper, and that doesn't necessarily always scream drug to me. It screams more medicine. Yeah. Because as we know, all drugs in Star Wars come in sticks or spice.
Yes. Sticks or spice?
Sticks or spice.
Yeah.
So this is a new one. So
yeah.
But you know, the episode ends, and now we're going to move on to episode 5. I have friends everywhere. Which Disney Plus describes thusly: Cassian on Ghorman, Cyril on Coruscant, Bix failing, Wilman trapped, Clea has a serious problem. What a roller coaster of a synopsis there.
Yeah, I know.
Very direct, very to the point. If they replace the periods with exclamation points, it would feel like someone shouting at me.
Yes. Yes.
I actually love how this episode sort of begins. So we're getting the title sequence of Andor, and it's Clea playing with her radio, but different radio frequencies, and you get like Ryloth on the radio. Yeah. Someone's like, well, maybe you'll find a husband. There's like all sorts of weird shit that people have to be listening to.
Right.
I think at one point she was like, ooh, streaming things, and held on it for a beat.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, no time, and kept going. She's like, oh no, this is one where it's just Steve. Get me out of here. Oh, Steve's leading the discussion. Let's bounce. Through the radio, she has a listening device in Skulldun's private selection of antiquities.
Yes.
And we find out that there is a forgery. At first, we think it's the forgery that her and Luthen gave them last batch of episodes at the wedding. But no, it's a completely different, unrelated thing from another dealer. But it's a forgery. And because he's so mad, he's so mad.
He's furious.
They're going to check everything else after the gala that's in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Which is not good, because then they'll find out.
Everything. Skulldun mad.
Cassian is going to like a, what do you call that? Like a travel agency, I guess. Space travel agency. Yeah. And this is where we get the first, like, are you visiting friends?
What was it like? It's essentially like, why do you need to know? Like, I'm just curious. I have friends everywhere.
I have friends everywhere. Yeah. That's some sort of code word.
Yeah. It's like a back and forth that lets them know that like you're cool.
Yeah. And that's like their code word they use for the next like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But I love the implication. What did you think they were implying with this? Because he knocks on the door and you hear like 1 minute. And then she shows up and she's kind of disheveled and Bon is in the back. Were they like getting down?
In retrospect, I see how you could see that. I just I guess I didn't think of that. I thought maybe they were just like in the back and it takes some time to get out there.
Okay.
But maybe they be fucking.
As someone who has unintentionally interrupted lovemaking for random strangers many a times at my old job in the hotel. That was very much
you have way more experience doing that than me.
Yeah. So. Listener, I used to do room service at a hotel and people would order room service and then for whatever reason think, oh, we've got 45 minutes, let's go. And it would take me 5 minutes to get up there and they would be like, we're naked. And the guys always answer the door naked.
Yeah.
But the women always covered up.
Yes.
Because women are better than men. Yes. In every single way, it's undeniable. Yes. After Cassian meets with the people, Bon and crew, he has like a little Mission Impossible earpiece that's given like your mission if you choose to accept it.
Yeah.
And gives him sort of the backstory of who he is and everything on his mission. It's really, really cool. What is it? Varian Sky? Is that his name?
Yes.
You are
Didn't
Varian
write it
Sky.
Down, but yes.
You're Varian Sky, a designer from Coruscant, going for an apprenticeship on Ghorman.
Yeah.
Which is great because Ghorman is known for their threads.
Sure.
Right? It's very cool. Back at the apartment, Bix hears someone knocking at the door. It doesn't seem good. She pulls out her pistol. It's Luthen, though.
The interaction she has with him, like right off the bat, is so sad. She just like assumes that like he's been killed.
Yeah, Cassian's been killed.
And he's like, no, I'm not here for that. So, but like, it just goes to show like where Bix is.
He's been gone for 20 minutes.
Yeah. And she's like, he's dead. And it's like, no, like he's not dead. Just relax. But like in her mind, like so much bad shit has been in her life within the last year that she just assumes like the worst.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
Yeah. And Luthen, how do you read this interaction between the two of them? Like, is he sort of like gauging how fit she is mentally because he knows she's been struggling with her PTSD?
Yeah, I think that's implied because she said like, oh, like you came here to offer me a job, but you're not now. And he picks up her drugs at one point. And I think he's more or less doing a checkup on her because when he walks in too, like he scouts out the whole place.
Yeah.
Like he goes into like their room, like he goes down the hall and he's like, oh yeah, like I've slept here twice. So he's playing it off. Like I just want to see this place, but no, like I think he's like assessing how she's doing.
Yeah.
And it's clear to him, like she's not 100% because he's like,
he finds her drugs.
Yeah. Like we need you at your best. And right now you're not.
He tries to steal him.
Yeah.
Because he sees him and then she's like, give it to me.
Yeah, right.
And we find out she's using those to help her sleep because she can't sleep at night.
Except we also learn that if you take the drug, when you do sober up, the dreams come back way worse.
Mm-hmm. But you need me healthy.
Right.
That's what she says.
Yeah.
I guess he was going to consider offering her some sort of
routine job that she didn't really want to do. And
he changed his mind or something. Yeah.
Or at least that's what he says.
I just want to hang. Clea is working with Skulden's, exhibition handler, party planner.
Yeah.
And this poor woman's like, Clea, you have no idea how awful he has been. Work has been an absolute travesty ever since he got angry. I hate working with him. He looks like what did we say last week? He looks like
it was like a Dick Tracy
villain. But she tells Clea, promise not to tell Luthen this. Yeah. We're going to reappraise everything after the party. Is it implied that Skulden has the other dealer killed off screen?
Oh, I missed that.
I at least at one point he's like, I want him dead. I want him killed. Like that's what Clea's listening to. Like the other forger that gave him the other art dealer that gave him the forgery.
I think he was just mad. So I think that he was just mad that that dealer could have potentially known that it was not real. But she's like, yeah, but like, what if he thought it was real? Like, it's not like, it might not be him.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get the impression that he was going to put a hit out on this guy.
All I need to know is that guy's name, and he's putting a hit out on everybody. His name is Skeldon.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they said my name wrong at Starbucks. Put a hit out on that barista.
Right.
So this is a weird. This might play a little weird with our recap, but Cyril has come back to Coruscant.
Two ships passing in the night because Andor's on his way there.
Yeah.
And it's like if they had both stayed in the same place, like much different outcome for this whole episode.
Because they would have run into each other and Cyril wouldn't have been able to maintain his facade.
No.
And Cassian would have been like, this fucking guy?
Ferrex dude?
Yeah, so I guess we could say it now, but like we'll get to it more in detail. But Cyril has given some information to the Ghorman front, and he's going back to Coruscant to update Dedra and Partagaz. Mm-hmm. But while he's there, he first goes and visits Edie, his mom.
His mama.
This scene's hilarious because they're at the dinner table. He's still eating his cereal.
Yeah.
And she just has this like, perhaps I'll name it Cyril.
Yeah. He gives her the spider.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah.
The silence, the brooding, the disregard for common sense.
She's just like slowly pulling it across the table and it's making that scratching sound. It's so good.
Oh my God. She's unbearable, but like in a great, like I would hate to hang out with her in real life, but in the show,
it's great. Just because she's such a good foil to him.
Yeah.
That's just, it's great.
Yeah, she's amazing. But Cyril ends up having that meeting with Dedra and Partagaz. He's super on board. Like, we got him. We did it. Mission accomplished. And Dedra's a lot more reserved. Like, we are skeptically confident that the Ghorman front are planning some sort of, they would say, terrorist activity, but a heist of the materials that are being transported because the Empire says they're building that building there. Cyril has told them like they're just transporting construction materials, but they know there are some unmarked transports they think are weapons and stuff like that. But Dedra, to her point, last batch of episodes, she says we need a reliable rebellion front on Ghorman to keep making mistakes that we can take advantage of. So they are actually playing into the Empire's hand this whole entire time.
Right.
Partagaz tells Cyril, excellent work. And I love this. Yeah, you say
he was like, is this too much to say that this is the best day of my life or some version of that?
Mm-hmm. It's so funny.
It's just, he's one of those guys where like you love to hate this guy, but like when he is showing a moment of joy, it's hard not to be on his side, which is weird because he's not a good guy. No. But we've spent so much time with him at this point that it's like, man, like seeing him get a W for once, I'm like, all right, cool.
He reminds me, like he's like the evil Boyle. Like, have you ever seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Mm-mm. There's a character named Boyle, but he's like just as like pathetic, but not in an evil way. He's like one of the good guys, quote unquote. But there's this episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they're trying to teach Boyle to like stand up for himself and to alpha people. Mm-hmm. And he ends up winning because he fails so hard that the others step in and help him. And they're like, if only you could step up more, you could be successful. And he goes, or did I beta you into protecting me? And he treats it like a win. Like, no, you didn't win this. He's like, I think I did. so Cyril is like, I'm going to beta my way to the top, baby.
Yeah.
We kind of skipped over this because my notes are a mess. But when Cyril first comes back to Coruscant, he visits Dedra first.
And she's like, hey, you've got to leave in like an hour. And he was like,
an hour?
He's like, we got an hour? She's like, lights out.
And he's like, yes. And come on, Disney, put those lights on a little bit.
Come on, Disney?
No, like I'm saying, Disney, let us see it. Let them fuck. I want to see them.
I don't think you're going to get a hardcore porn scene in the show.
We finally got a same-sex kiss in Star Wars that lasted more than 30 seconds or 3 seconds. I'm just saying, baby steps. We can get there. Progress. I can't wait in 20 years when they release the special edition of Andor and it's like, here's the real thing that happened. Cyril and his mommy girlfriend. Do you think it's like,
I don't want to go down this road. I knew you were going to try to get me to go down this road. Look, if I were Kit, you two would discuss this in length. I'm not cut out for it.
Name one position you think they do.
Imperial?
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you all decide what that looks like.
A scowl is involved for sure.
Oh, for sure.
It's just Daedra given the scowl.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that's it.
Well done. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll move on. I won't torture you anymore. Luthen's back at his shop. He's like, tell me some good news, Clea. What you got, girl? And she's like, well,
bad news.
Not that. She updates him on the Skolden situation, and he's so mad.
He's like furious.
He's like, why did we even bug that guy? He's just a Dick Tracy villain. Who cares?
It's like, this is all your fault. And she's like, wait, whoa, dude. You
proved it
in on this too. Like, it's not me.
And he's like, we're drowning in all this information, all the lines we've set. It's too much. We need help. And she's like, no, what we need to do is remove that bug at the party.
Yes.
He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I did like that we find out through that bug that Skolden is courting the Grand Vizier of the Empire, which is fun. Because the Grand Vizier, that's the some of those creepy dudes that hang around Palpatine in Return of the Jedi, right? Like in the Death Star, there's those dudes with like the big red hats who are like, hello, and they don't really do anything.
You know, I feel like that's right. I can't say for sure. That is such a deep cut. And I don't know if I have that information in my brain anymore.
I'm so sorry. I just looked it up. At least as of the time of episode 3, the Grand Vizier was Mas Amedda.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if this is the same Grand Vizier, Mas Amedda's rolling around with Skolden.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
He loves Dick Tracy films.
He does.
Over at Ghorman, we're going to travel back in time a bit. Cyril is there. He's really excited. He's telling his mom he's coming home for the weekend, but the Empire shows up to do a bug check, a bug sweep of his office. And I really appreciate the Imperial that's running this bug sweep is I'm going to butcher this guy's name. I'm so sorry. Kurt Ijiawan, who plays Maester Orwyle in Hot D, House of the Dragon. So just seeing that guy show up, of course he would be an Imperial. It's so great to see him. But Cyril's putting on a big show like, why would you? No one would spy on us. I don't know why he's John Mulaney. This is a great place. We're just auditing spiders. But he's making a big show of it. The Ghorman front who are spying them. Oh shit, we're compromised. And there's a woman in the office that sort of like rings an alarm.
And they pull the plug on the whole bug thing.
Yeah, they pull the plug on the bugs.
Pull the plug on the bug.
And because of Cyril's sort of display and acting, the front is like, he's our guy for sure. They look up his past. They see he was a corporate cop on Preox Morlana.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he was fired by the ISB with full dishonor. This is our guy.
Yeah.
Our guy.
Yeah.
So Cyril has another meeting with Rylance. How did you take this? Because Rylance tells Cyril, we think the Emperor doesn't know what the ISB is doing. They're essentially a shadow government. Do you think they are like pro-Empire but just hate the ISB? Or do you think they're doing that to appeal to what they think Cyril would be into? It's interesting.
I guess it's not clear. Yeah.
Because at first I was kind of like, oh, these idiots are pro-Empire?
So I don't think they're pro-Empire, but I think they are like, hey, we're going to give the Emperor the benefit of the doubt.
Because he's Jimmy Carter. He's a nice old man.
Right. But he doesn't, maybe his intentions are good, but the Empire's not doing good right now. because of this like subgroup.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it's meant to come across, but I could see it both ways.
Well, they think they convince Cyril to help them. We see Cyril copy a bunch of the transport manifest information and schedules onto a data disk, and he passes it off to Spider Tourist Man. Spider-Man.
Yes.
Spider-Man is part of the Resistance.
Peter.
Oh my God. If they name that character Peter, but in a dumb Star Wars way, that would be so funny.
P apostrophe TR.
Yeah.
Peter.
They read the information that Cyril gave them. They're like, this is it. Everything's marked MSR, military security required. They've got to be doing it. And we get this really cool shot of Cassian showing up on Ghorman where it's like a puddle and his reflection is the puddle and it transitions. Oh,
it's good.
There's a lot of good shots in this episode specifically.
Yes.
There's one when Cyril is copying the data on the disk. They've got like all the information in the reflection of his eye and he's showing up in the reflection of the monitor. Yeah. Oh, so good.
It's good.
Great cinematography. But he checks into the hotel, Cassian does, as Variant Sky, the what do you call that? Concierge.
Yeah.
That helps him into his room. He was at the Ghorman massacre and Cassian sort of asks him about what happened. Initially, the dude doesn't want to say.
Yeah. Because he's instructed by the hotel, like, hey, like, don't talk about this.
It was Moff Tarkin.
Yes.
And his dad died at the massacre and pushed him out of the way and got crushed.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated Andor saying at the end being like, hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, because Cassian understands the human value or the human experience in suffering from the Empire.
Yeah.
Which is something we come to later that Luthen doesn't really, you know, I'm sure he cares, but he's like, that's inconsequential.
Right. He's like a bigger picture guy, whereas Cassian has more of a like on the ground connection to these stories.
Yeah. And he goes to a nearby cafe and this is when Enza confronts him. They do the whole like, do you have a lot of friends? That whole thing. And I love this little bit where she's clearly noodling him for information in public. And he's like, oh, you're so funny. And he leans forward. I'm not, I could be any, you don't know who I am. I could be a spy. you guys are rushing. You need be more careful. You're idiots.
Yeah. He basically all but schools her in like the art of espionage.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, look, the guys you've got on me right now, like they're being way too obvious. Like you're really bad at this. So stop it.
Please. You're embarrassing yourselves. But he goes and eventually the next day has a meeting with Rylands at his threads shop, I guess. I love Cassian's look. Like
his glasses.
His designer look.
Yeah,
he looks like he's about to do some like snowboarding with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
He's looking fresh. He's looking fly.
Yeah.
It's the House of Rylands. For 19 generations, it's been around. It's one of the youngest ones in Palma, though. And he says, apparently, Enza talked to me. Apparently, we have a lot to learn. And he goes, yeah, you do. But we find out they have that special radio. Cassian gives him a special crystal for it, which I guess keeps it running. Not sure what the crystal quite does, but it's good enough for them to see that as an act of good faith.
Right.
He sort of walks him through their situation. They're building an armory. We have a source inside, and that immediately scares Andor. He's like, you have a source? They're really good at tricking people. Are you sure you can trust? Oh yeah, it's totally, we don't definitely trust them. And this is when Andor realizes that these people are just seeing what they want and not being super smart about it.
Right.
And they make the bye-bye gesture later in the night.
the
bye-bye gesture. Later in the night, he's kind of shown around the city like this. I assume they're walking him through like, we can use these tunnels and these are the streets. And he's assessing what's happening around the town.
Location scouting.
Yes, which is an important job.
It is.
In any production.
It is.
And they're at a cafe later and Cassian basically says like, we can't help you.
Right.
And Rylands is upset. He's like, he gives him some stank. He's like, tell your friend I'm not unimpressed. Yeah. Oh, and you could see Andor kind of like,
okay.
Fair enough. It sucks. I hope it goes well for you, but we can't really, he's really thinking, I think, about his situation. because this can go back and blow up in their face, and he doesn't want to harm Bix. I think it's just him being way more conservative with how rebellious he wants to be to protect Bix.
Because he makes the comment to Luthen that like they they started their resistance too late.
Yes.
And they're rushing to catch up. And that is going to bite them because you can't rush these things. Like you've got to be careful and you have to play the game. Like, and they're not playing the game the way that they should.
Yeah. Yeah. Stealing isn't difficult. Getting away with it is.
Exactly.
You're living at the scene of the crime and you're going to advertise what you've done because Rylance was to tell the whole city, like, they got guns.
Right.
So not a good idea. Back on Dakar, Willman is teaching Pluty some variations. It's not going well.
Well, I mean, like he can do it, but he just needs to keep trying and practicing because he's not good at it yet. But
they don't have a lot of time.
Right.
And then there's this really crazy scene where Will's kind of off eating lunch and Pluty goes and talks with Saw. And he's like, essentially, Pluty wants Saw to tell him specifically where they're going so he can really focus on learning that variation because he's having a hard time keeping all this stuff memorized.
Right.
And this is where Saw says like, well, we're going to kill that boy.
Yeah.
He's seen too much.
Right.
I don't play with my toys with other people. I don't share them.
Right.
So he tells them we're going to go to Market Moon, Neen Valley, Junction, Station 4 Juncture. But hey, guess what, Phil? Do you think Saw Gerrera is a fucking idiot? Do you think he's just going to let someone spy on him under his nose?
Absolutely not.
No. I love how he walks right up to him and he's like, boy, is he ready? And Will kind of gives a wishy-washy response like, cool. And this bullseye Pluty right in the head.
I know. That was crazy.
Traitor. Yeah. So apparently Pluty had a device on him transmitting to the Empire, or at least that's what he says it was. It could just be his like iPod. I don't know. He could have just, that's the thing about Saw is there's a high chance that guy just,
he could be wrong.
Yeah. He could be very wrong. And he just killed this dude because he's paranoid.
Right.
But congratulations, Will. That means I'm not going to kill you. You get to come with us.
And then you just see like Will just like, oh my God, I'm never getting off this planet.
Just want to go home.
Stuck with Saw forever.
It's so weird. No. Everyone bullies me. We'll be treating our Rido in peace. So they go to the real location. Yeah. Which did they say where they were? I didn't see like a lower third of what planet they were on.
I don't know.
But they're on a completely different location. Yeah. This is the real Rhydonium heist, and Wilma's doing it. And we get this really cool monologue from Forrest Whitaker talking about his upbringing on Onderon, because that's where Saw is from.
Right.
There's a pretty significant Clone Wars series of episodes. That's a young Saw Gerrera first becoming a guerrilla warfare person. He's sort of like really talking about how Rhydonium affects the body because he was the victim of a Rhydonium leak. You know, they had a leak. You feel it before you smell it.
Yeah.
And when Will finally gets the Rhydonium out and it's released, he's got like a breathing mask to protect him from it.
Yeah.
And Saul's like, let me huff it. Oh, I've always loved you. And Rhydo, she loves me. Remember this perfect night, boy. Am I crazy? Yes. Revolution is not for the sane. Unloved, hunted, cannon fodder will all be dead before the Republic is back, and yet here we are. Remember this night, boy. You're here right now, ready to fight. It's like, it's a really cool speech.
Yeah.
You understand why people follow this madman.
Yeah.
He is charismatic.
What he
all get out.
Lacks in predictability and stability, he makes up for in just like charm. He's just so, you want to be on this guy's side so bad because he's like, yeah, he's crazy, but like he's got it.
To go back to our party metaphor,
yeah,
he would be the one that would be like, it's only 2 a.m. Taco Bell is still open. We can get fourth meal. We're here now. We can do it now.
Go with fourth meal.
Quesadillas, Doritos tacos. They can be our. And the people who aren't eating, they lost. Baja Blast. Baja Blast. I have loved you. And she has loved me, the blast.
Oh, man.
But he inspires Will to take off his breathing mask and breathe in that rhydonium.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be a great time. It
doesn't feel like he's enjoying it.
It seems like it's a dark moment for Will. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where that goes for him.
I'm also interested if this exposure to this gas leads to Saw's need for the mask.
Yeah, if that we see in Rogue One.
Yeah, because he's not using it right now. So I wonder if this is the reason why he has respiratory.
What if
troubles.
that mask he has in Rogue One is just he's just huffing
more gas
all the time? Oh, it's so good.
maybe so. Yeah,
we didn't steal it for any purpose other than huffing it.
I love that. Yes. Can I just say there is one really cool shot of an over the cockpit shot of an X-Wing going into hyperspace. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is so good. And it lingers for longer than I think it should. Yeah. But I was like, nah, just keep this going. Yeah. It was just a really like a really good shot.
I just like whoever was piloting that thing was had a R5 astromech droid instead of the stereotypical R2.
Right. It's cool.
But before we get into breaking down episode 6, let's take a quick break to hear from some of our sponsors. Hello, stream fiends. As April showers bring those famous May flowers, we're reminded of the growth and renewal that spring offers. It's a time of refreshing rains and new beginnings and questioning whether or not the tomb is empty. But before any of that, we want to sprinkle some gratitude like a gentle April rain. So let's give a special April shout out to all of our supporters on Patreon, but a special shout out to our super patrons. These fantastic supporters contribute $25 or more each month, helping our podcast bloom and thrive like a well-tended garden. So thank you to Xander Barbarian, Daniel Pack, Nice Guy Eddie, Taloon, Jordan Garvin, Albus Stinkpot, Haley, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Jim E, Lady Trashley, Sean Myers, Just Liz Calabria, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, E Scramo, Lil Tickler, Svento7, J Scramo, Bloffpum, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Upside Down Canuck, Big Butthorn, Jair Latanowicz, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Elpander, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Trisha Bueller, Alex G, Sun-Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jadinklage Morgoon, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, That Brenda, Aaron Armstrong, Seriously Black 82, Ashley Powers, Casey McCain, and Enza. So thank you all so much for supporting Streaming Things. And with that, let's get back to Streaming Things. Okay? And we're back. We're about to break down episode 6. What a festive event. Disney Plus describes this episode as Vel and Cinta to Ghorman, Cassian home to Bix, an argument, a heist, a party, everything at risk. This has been a dramatic reading of the Disney Plus stuff. We start off at Port Steerguard. We've heard of this place for a while, so it's kind of cool to see. This is where Cassian originally stole that what was it, the ISB unit in the first season that everyone wanted. But this is sort of the mutual meeting place between Cassian and Luthen. So Luthen's picking up Cassian and being like, so how was Ghorman? Was it dope? And Cassian tells him,
he's like, they're not ready.
Yeah, they're not ready. You know, don't back them. But Luthen's like, what do you mean don't back them? It would be dope to have a planet as influential and rich as Ghorman to join the rebellion.
Right.
But Cassian is like, no, they'll all die. And what if it burns? And Luthen says that it'll burn brightly.
Burn brightly, yeah.
Because Luthen is an accelerationist.
Yes.
And he doesn't care if normal people get hurt as long as it paints the Empire in a bad way.
And I mean, like, we saw a little bit of his means to an end mindset in season 1 when he told Saul, like, hey, this other group is going to do this attack. You need to not go with them, because if you do, it's a setup. You're going to die.
The man's knocks.
Yeah. So it's clear, like, Luthen doesn't really care about individual lives so long as they progress toward the goal.
Yeah. He's a rough guy.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that they're sort of making the audience and Andor specifically like, can we really trust Luthen to do the right thing? Is he just as bad as the Empire, but a different side of that coin?
Well, yeah, it's hard because like I think we can trust him to further the mission of
The rebellion,
the resistance, but I think where it breaks down is like the individuals that work under him. That's like, if we care about them more, then he's not a good guy. Like we can't trust him. But if our ultimate goal is like, we want a resistance to this big evil empire, then yeah, I think he's I think he's 1-to-1 on that, but it's just, I don't think he has like Cassian's best interests in mind. If he could burn Cassian to essentially get like a big jump on their goal, then he would.
Absolutely. In a heartbeat. So. We go back to Ghorman where we get the reuniting of Vel and Cinta.
Yeah.
It's been a year since we last saw them.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like you have thoughts.
I have thoughts.
Give me them thoughts.
So she mentions that Cinta mentions that she was laid up for a long time because she had an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was like, oh, okay, that could be whatever. But when I think back on it now, the last time we saw her, she got in a car with Tay.
Mm-hmm.
And before that scene, there was some talk about offing Tay.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Cinta essentially crashed the car to make it look like
an accident.
Yes. And Tay died and she did not.
So everything's not Tay.
Everything is not Tay for Tay.
All right.
But I think maybe that's what she's referring to because we haven't seen Tay.
No, no one mentioned Tay.
No one mentions Tay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Tay's donezo or if he's still out there, but I think we're going to learn at some point that Tay was killed in that car because the way that scene played out at the end of episode 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of scary for Tay.
Oh yeah. I think in the way that this show sort of operates, I think Tay's dead for sure. I think it's been a year, so they're not talking about him.
Right.
But I think he's definitely donezo.
Yeah.
And I think that's a safe bet that Cinta was injured, making that look like an accident.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's not a sure thing, but Tay's definitely dead.
Yeah,
Cinta definitely killed that dude.
I think it's pretty clear at this point, but they haven't expressly said it. So I don't want to shut the book on Tay yet. But
Tay's going to show up in the Mandalorian and Grogu. Like, I'm Tay. I've been here the whole time. But yeah, there's this really heartfelt moment where, because Cinta was always like, the cause comes first. Yeah, you're great, but first is the cause. And apparently when Cinta was recovering from her accident, she was thinking a lot about Vel and she's having some remorse. Like, I've lost a lot of time and maybe, you know, Cinta is willing to do that.
And Vel's pretty mad because she's like, I didn't know.
Yeah, Luthen didn't tell her.
Yeah.
And Vel said she wouldn't take this job unless Cinta was on it with her.
Yes.
So,
and
Cinta likewise with Cinta.
Like, I came because of you.
Mm-hmm. It's cute.
Yeah.
They're cute. They are there to work with the Ghorman front, and because Cassian's like, I don't want to do this, Luthen's like, I do.
Send in the B team.
Let's send in the B team. No, you want something done, you send Vel and Cinta.
Well,
ladies get it done.
Why did he send him first then?
Because he needed an appraiser. You send a geek out there.
Oh, so he sent the B team first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. That's Cassian, good. Andor, C and A. What's in between C and A? A B. There you go. The math checks out.
Perfect.
But they're there to sort of coach the Ghorman front and lead this assault that they want to lead. So they're going over the plans. They got 6 minutes to knock out the transport and take what's on it. They're really sort of emphasizing you need to follow the chain of command. This isn't a game.
Yes.
And there are several members of the Ghorman front that are just being
being bossed around.
Yeah, like, well, I don't like, these are strangers. Why are we taking orders from them? The driver.
Drina.
And what's the long-haired guy's name?
Peter.
Peter. Okay. I like calling him Peter.
Same.
Yeah. Peter Parker, the Spider-Man of Ghorman.
Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like the idea, but it's a hard, we're not helping you out unless you do this.
Yeah. And no guns. We are the only two that are allowed to have guns. So leave your guns at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
Yeah.
They're kind of going over the plan some more. They're looking at the location, what it looks like.
Yeah.
I think Drina's supposed to be the driver at first, but Cinta's like, I don't like this bitch.
Yeah.
She's not driving.
Yeah.
Keep her up top with us. And Cinta apologizes to Vel for hurting her. She says, I don't know who I am sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And you, Vel, you make yourself change when you need to. And but what matters is they're together and they kiss. Oh my God,
they kiss.
Yay.
Yay.
I love it. I love love.
I ship those two.
What's their ship name?
Velmta?
Velmta. Okay.
Maybe.
I like it. It's kind of hard when one's name is.
Yeah, they don't really.
syllable.
Yeah, they don't really flow together.
Sinvel?
Sinvel? Sure.
Felta? I don't know. Write in. Let us know what your shipping name for Cinta and Vel are.
Yeah.
But we do. One of them says we're worth more to Luthen separately than together.
Yeah.
Well, that's something we'll have to talk to him about.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kiss. That was the kissing noise.
Gross.
So the Ghormans are hanging out in the sewers. They've got their own transport in the sewer.
Yeah.
And there's like a little tunnel that they're going to throw everything down.
A chute.
A chute. The transport arrives. Cinta has laid down some mines. And this whole time, Cyril's on the rooftop spying.
He's watching
because Partagaz and Dedra have sort of vacated this whole room. It's a very top secret mission. No one else can know about this except them and Cyril. And I think Cyril's under the impression that he's like, oh, they're attacking. Let's go. Let's stop them.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that they're supposed to succeed.
Right.
Because they're using him just as much as they're using the rebels. But yeah, they set the charge. Vel ignites the mines. Cinta does this fucking awesome thing where she hops down off the roof and effortlessly like puts like a
mine,
some sort of like a electromagnetic mine or something, a droid popper.
Sure,
for my Clone Wars fans, but it's dope. It's flawless. Yeah. She's amazing.
It's cool. And
they're unloading crates. Things seem to be going well for a while. I love the Ghorman word for I assume like. Go faster, as I'm going, zip, 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 zip. That's cute. Drina is missing because a
woman walks up and she's like, I gotta go home. And she's like, okay, let's get you to bed over this way.
Yeah. So Drina goes missing, helping the old woman, which of all the ways for her to like fuck up the plan, I think that's not a bad one.
It's not bad. It's just not great.
Yeah, it's not ideal. And then the guy from the first episode, Lenise, it begins with an L.
Leipzig.
The guy who Leipzig. I don't know.
What's his name?
Something with an L. It's far away on my notes. I don't have it memorized.
He's just a big chonky dude.
Yeah, this is the guy that's like, why wasn't he in the Ghorman front the whole time? That dude should be running things.
Yeah, so Chonk walks up.
Le Chonk.
And Le Chonk. I love that. LeChonk walks up
that is a Pokemon.
Peter's like, hey dude, no, like you got to stay back. Like we're doing a thing right now. Like you got to go. And LeChonk's
he does the like arm flipping off motion. It's like, still man, I can't.
Yeah. Like you got to go. And he's like, nope, I'm going to go check it out. And Peter pulls a blaster.
Yeah. And LeChonk's like, you dumb fucking
that better be a toy.
How dare you? Yeah. And they struggle over the blaster and he accidentally gets a shot off. And unfortunately,
I hate this.
It hits Cinta.
I'm so mad about this. We just got her back.
Yeah.
We just got her back.
And they just kissed and they were going to be happy lesbians walking off into the galaxy far, far away together. I wanted it so bad.
No, it's sad.
But it was taken away from us.
Crushed.
Oh, I know.
She's just like, nothing else about the mission at this point matters.
Yeah.
She's crushed.
Devastated.
Sucks.
It was sweet in a way, LeChonk.
Yeah.
is like, I've got her.
Yeah.
And so he picks up Cinta's body and carries her because Partagaz and Dedra have finally called the force, go in loud, let them know we're coming.
Yeah.
And so they've got to scatter. They have to get Vel away. They have a clean getaway. They get in the tunnel, they drive off. Yeah. And I love this scene.
Oh, man.
Where Peter is crying and Vel's like, are you fucking crying right now?
Yeah.
There's no place to hide. I'm right here, motherfucker. Yeah. Look at me.
You have to live with the consequences of what you've done the rest of your entire life.
This is like skin.
Yeah.
It's on you. And then she says she was a warrior. She was everything you've ever daydreamed about. She's a miracle.
Yeah.
And she died because of you, a foolish child.
Yeah.
You'll make up for this forever.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's so good. It's so good. So sad. Yeah.
That guy, I mean, I'm sure like the next day he just jumped off a bridge. Seriously, like, not only do you feel bad for what happened, but then you get that on top of it. It's probably the right move, dude.
Yeah.
It's probably the right move.
It's brutal.
Can you fly, Bobby? This season is very rapidly killing off some of our favorite characters.
Died at the end of episode 3.
Yeah. So who's next? Who's dying at the end of the next 3 episodes?
I don't know. I'm so concerned about Bix. I really don't want Bix to die, but I don't feel good about her chances.
Do you think B2 is going to come back? He wasn't in these 3 episodes.
I know it was
your favorite droid B2 email.
I was really glad about that. I guess they wrote him off the show because they left him with the farm.
I think the phrase is called leaving the audience wanting more.
I think it's more like cutting the fat.
I love your dedication to this heel turn of hating on B2 emo.
I know.
So I told you off air, but I'm going to tell you because I think it's hilarious and I think the listener should hear this. But I saw a fan theory and it makes me laugh so hard. I pray it comes true just to troll you specifically. Someone has this fan theory that the memory and personality of B2 Emo somehow gets taken out of his droid chassis and put into the body of what is that called? Imperial loading droid or whatever. Yeah. And is just renamed K2SO.
It does look.
And that's the origin story of K2SO because both of them are very loyal to Cassian.
They are, but that's
only listen to Cassian.
But that's where it stops though.
So you've got this little this little tiny droid who can barely, because of his parts, he can barely muster up the energy to function in the day. He has no confidence. And then you put him in
one mode.
You put him in the powerful lifting droid of a K2 unit and he becomes super confident and is willing to punch things now. And he has a whole new lease on life.
No, that's great. Look, if there is an arc with him where he becomes K2SO, fine. That's great. I would love that. I love it so much. But that doesn't mean that I like B2. I like K2. So I don't like B2. He's not good.
I just want this to happen because K2SO is your favorite droid, right?
He's my,
So I would love it so much if your favorite droid's origin story is your least favorite droid.
That would be, I would love that because then it would be fun.
Let's go back to Coruscant. Cassian has come back. He goes to the apartment. Originally, there's no answer when he comes in. It's a little scary. Like, oh, where's Bix? Did someone get her? Did she drink too much nighttime juice? But no, she's there. She's like, my dude. And they like make out. It's super flirty. Yeah. She's like, I cleaned up the house. I got flowers. And I love this sort of like, who were you this time?
Yeah.
Oh, I was Varian Sky. Yeah. I was a fashion designer. I was so pretty. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, you should bring him home sometime. It's cute.
Yeah.
I love it. But then the conversation kind of goes towards Luthen. He showed up. He came after you left. He was going to ask me for this weapons appraisal job, but he decided against it. And Cassian's so upset about this. Like, he asked you while I was gone and I was with him and he didn't mention it. Luthen doesn't do anything without a reason. What's he doing?
Yeah.
What's his end game here?
And he's pissed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perrin and Mon Mothma are talking. They're going to more banquets. Apparently there's a lot of new senators this time around.
80, I think he said.
Yeah. So they're doing 80 hosting banquets.
And he has to fit a year's worth of sincerity into 3 months or 3 nights, right?
Yeah. It's a good line.
Love that, yeah.
But Cassian, in his anger, he accosts Luthen. He goes to the store, which is very dangerous. This is the second time today you've let me down.
Yeah. This is pretty brash. Like we really understand how much Bix is his whole thing. Because he, like, if this were anyone else, he wouldn't be this lax with his interactions with Luthen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's like, you want my blood? Help me work this out with Bix. Like, if you need me, you need to be an active participant in helping Bix.
Yes.
So how's he going to make it up to the two of them?
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Friendship never ends. Okay. I forgot the line in between. I just love Luthen's really into the Spice Girls. My favorite's Posh. At the ISB, Partagaz runs into Hirt and Lonnie again. Apparently, the Dr. Gorst interrogations have been so successful that we're taking Gorst everywhere. Yeah. We're franchising Gorst.
We're franchising Gorst.
And he's putting those two in charge of facilitating that.
Yes.
And Hirt is like, it's an honor, sir.
And he's like, whoa, dude, calm down. Like,
calibrate your enthusiasm.
Yeah, calibrate your enthusiasm. I love it.
But Lonnie hears this and he's like, uh-oh. So he's got some more dirt.
Report.
I assume to tell to Luthen. Dedra is like, hey, well, this happens before the attack, but she's like, the attack's coming, and they're like, cool. Bix is, I wrote my notes, Bix finds her nummy bottle because she's having her nummies. And
I hate that.
Cassian wakes up and she's not in bed. He goes to see where she's at, thinking maybe she had another bad dream about Dr. Gorst, but the light from Luthen is flashing again. There's another mission to be had. And she says, whatever it is, I'm coming with you. And he's like, damn right you are, girl. Let's go. Let's go. We see the Imperial Senate.
Yes.
How cool.
Very, very cool. Which I believe we saw it in the last 3 as well. Or like
we saw it in the last season.
The last season.
I don't think it made an appearance last 3 episodes because it was Mon's wedding.
Yeah.
Or not her wedding, but the wedding.
Right. Yep. Okay.
But I think this scene shows all the new senators taking their like oaths.
Yeah.
And there's this really cool looking alien, the Oath Keeper is what the captions called him. It's a galaxy of worlds, a galaxy assembled on Empire. And Mon doesn't finish the oath because
she's stressed out.
Yeah, Mon don't play them games.
No.
But everyone's going to this the gala exhibition.
Yes.
That Skulden is running. Mon and Para are showing up. And there's this really brief moment where Mon and Perrin run into a recast Bail Organa.
How did you feel about this? Because Jimmy Smits has been Bail since
2005.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2002 for Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Yeah. He's in Attack of the Clones.
From Attack of the Clones till now. So he's been Bail for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
But he's recast in this.
Yeah. Benjamin Brandt plays Bail Organa, which I like Benjamin Brandt. It's interesting.
So I don't love this if this is the only time we see Bail.
I think it's
I have a feeling that he's going to come back because I don't know why you would even include Bail if you're going to recast Bail for such a brief scene. It doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if we're going to get more Bail.
I hope we do. I think if you can't get Jimmy Smits,
right,
and it was just this little cameo, you just wouldn't do it.
No. Yeah.
I just Googled it. According to Tony Gilroy, Jimmy Smits just wasn't available.
Right. Okay.
It was a scheduling issue.
Sure.
But I'm excited to see what Benjamin Bratt does with it. I like that guy. He's cool.
Yeah.
But they're going to the party. There's this really obnoxious paparazzi droid.
Oh, this pissed me off. Yeah, I was like, my job. No. Because
you're a photographer by trade.
That's what I do.
So you would usually be at events like this taking photos of the rich and famous.
I am the paparazzi.
You are. And you took umbrage with the amount of flash that this
I was like,
had.
Calm down, dude. Like, be more subtle. You're not going to go through that many shots.
I mean, I assume the droid can shoot, edit, color correct,
Probably.
and all that, and like instantaneously.
That pisses me off. The machines are taking our jobs.
Taking our germs.
Yeah.
I like this little bit where Luthen is hanging out with these like other rich dudes, and he's like, "I've got this ring from Lost Empire."
Yeah.
Oh, you just wear it out in public? I figured I'd sell it to you, criminals.
Thieves, yeah.
And then we see
Takes one to know one.
But Hirt and Lonnie are also there living it up. Hirt is having a great time getting absolutely smashed on Cali Coolers.
Which every Star Wars themed bar from now on is going to have.
Cali Coolers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They sound good.
Yeah.
Is that like, do you think when there's that third Imperial officer that shows up, he's like, oh my God, dude, my guy, they got... Bro, hold up.
An Imperial dude just like fanboying out over this stupid drink like that.
They got Cali Coolers. Do you think the other guys are like, it's the equivalent of someone going, oh my God, they got Mike's Hard here?
Yeah. A Cali Cooler to me is like a tiki drink. Like it's got to be like a fruity, like rum based fun drink, right? Like it seems,
looks fun.
Yeah. Like it seems like a fun, easy to drink drink.
I mean, all the cocktails that it looked like everyone was holding looked great.
Yeah.
I think at one point Clea has like a blue cocktail, but there's like
this like
a blue orange or something as a garnish.
Yeah.
I want it. It looked delicious.
Looked good.
I wanted it. Luthen runs into Mon, congratulates her, and she's like, well, I haven't heard from my cousin Vel in a while.
Yeah.
Is she okay? And I was like, I don't know.
Like, why do you care? And she's like, because I care about my cousin, bro.
Yeah, like that's not a weird question.
It's not a weird
ask.
request.
Do you have a soul?
Yeah.
I gave up everything. I had a monologue about it last season. Come on, I'm begging you to listen to the show. And then Skolden collects them as like, hey, it's about time to go see the exhibition. Yeah. Oh, good thing my history teacher's here. Clea runs into Lonnie.
Yes.
And she's like, hey, you're helping me out with something, buddy.
And he is super stressed about this because he's like, you're going to get me made, dude. Like, you got to.
I just want to drink these Cali Coolers. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go into the exhibition room and Skolden is showing them all around. And
who
is there? Director Krennic. Looking especially fine. Oh. He's got his cape, but also like a sash.
He is space Naziing so much right now. And it just you love to hate this guy because he's so.
And I love the little interaction with him and Mon because is it Skolden who's like, oh, Senator Mon Mothma, this is Director Krennic. And she's like, oh yeah, I know
nice
him.
To see you off of the witness stand.
Yeah. And kind of like, oh, what a festive evening this has become.
Oh, I love him so much.
The barbs. I could watch the two of these two of these people be passive aggressive to each other all damn day.
100%.
But while they're being shown all this stuff, Clea takes Lonnie to a particular piece, and this is the piece that has the listening device, and she's like, Lonnie, you're going to be my human shield. So to block their view while I undo the listening device. And he's like, no, do you know who's here?
Yeah.
This is fucking suicide. That's Ben Mendelsohn. He's super cool. He's a great actor. And she's like, I don't care. I will fucking twist your nuts off if you don't help me.
That's a direct quote.
Direct quote. Tony Gilroy wrote that.
Yeah. She's
having a hard time with it. It's really, this is also very tense because this is actually being intercut with the Ghorman heist.
This is so tense and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Because she's having problem twisting this one piece off and she's twisting it so hard. Like her ring is cutting her finger.
Yeah.
And they're getting closer and closer and it's very, very scary. You think they're going to get caught. While that's happening, Krennic and Mon Mothma are having debates about the Battle of Carmine. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, I didn't think it was a battle, more so of a systematic execution. And he's like, well, one man's terrorist is another person's rebel. And
right.
It really kind of cuts to the heart of how the two of them see the galaxy at large. And finally, they get the group get to Clea and Lonnie, but she has seemingly gotten the listening device off there. Oh, this is the Tinian Codex.
We don't know for sure yet.
That's true.
She's not messing with it at this point.
Yeah. And there's this really great moment where her cover story is, oh, this is my favorite piece. Mm-hmm. I was really upset when we lost it. So I'm in the room because I miss it. And I'm telling this cute Lonnie about it. And Krennic's like, I heard that it's your favorite piece, Clea. Why is that? Why is it so special? And there's that moment where she's like,
and she looks at him and he was like, it's a book. You touch it.
It's a book. You read it by touch. Blindness. It's from a planet where blindness is considered a gift. And Krennic's like, I bet we can all think of people who would fit right at home.
And this kills. The whole crowd goes nuts.
Like, blind people.
We're like, okay, man. Like it wasn't that funny, but okay.
Yeah, they're just sucking up to him because he's a super powerful man. And he's implying that like Mon Mothma in this room is blind to the reality of the affairs, right? But it went off without a hitch. Clea and Luthen are leaving, and he's like, my face hurts from smiling, but she got the device.
She got it.
And what does he say?
He was like, we should have killed Krennic while we were in there.
Now that joke slayed.
That got me. I definitely laughed at that, and they laugh at it too.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice release because the whole scene is very, very tense up to that point. And them laughing about it is just like, okay, we did it.
Yeah.
Crisis averted. We can go back to the shop and like not be concerned now. So, cause up to this point, like that whole thing was like, oh my God, this could fuck us up real bad if we get this, or if they find this bug. Yeah.
And that one little joke that he said seemingly has put the relationship back together. Cause it was definitely frayed.
It was a bit tense. Yeah.
And now they're like, oh fuck yeah, my guy, we should have. Yeah. Can we go back? Should we?
I mean, they've got Callie Coulter's in there.
We can hang around for a little bit longer. And then our last scene of the episode is a good one. Yeah. We see Dr. Gorst. He's got like a little, looks like he's got like a little cake in a to-go box. He's gonna enjoy that. Yeah. Or is he? He goes into his office. He turns on some lights and Bix is in there.
Yes. Revenge.
Yeah. She knocks him into the chair. She puts the little headset on and she's like, I know you. Yeah. This will feel like forever for you, which is something he told her when he tortured her. And she powers it up. He sees it and we see him like in pain.
Rowenge at its finest.
Scary noises.
Yes.
And as she's leaving, she ices one of the guards.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be hey, what are you doing?
Oh, I was about to retire. And as she's leaving, Cassian joins her and he presses a button and explodes the whole place. And
you think Gorst got killed in that?
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
That bums me out because I kind of wanted him to like suffer more for what he did to her.
Well, it felt like forever for him.
Yeah, that's true. But
so he's not only did he, because they could have just killed him because that was the point of their mission. She did
like crank it up to 10.
Yeah, yeah. His final moments were not good.
No. And realistically, he had probably about 5 to 10 minutes to suffer. Mm-hmm. So that's a long time, I guess, if you're in that much pain.
Yeah. Because they could have just killed him because that I think it's implied that Luthen sent them to kill Gorst because they're going to franchise Gorst. Right. They can't let that happen. And this is also a way to heal Bix.
Yes.
So she knows he's not out in the galaxy free. And she gets a little bit of a catharsis torturing him before they kill him. And they explode it to make it look more like a terrorist act or maybe even an accident. I don't know.
Right.
But it doesn't look like just a straight assassination on him specifically. Right. He just happens to be a victim of the explosion. But what a way to end. We were both like so jazzed. Like,
we were like, I wish we had a season where just like every episode is just those two going on missions.
Yeah.
And doing some version of this.
Bix and Andor fucking shit up.
It'd be so good.
I said motherfuckers who work for the Empire.
I feel like this episode 6 really introduced tension and a bit of action that the previous two just did not have for me. And it ended in a really good way. Yeah. So I want to go back to what I said before about it being like slow. It's not that they were bad. It's just like every episode of Andor that I'd seen up to that point had such good like tension and a bit of action, and episodes 4 and 5 just didn't have that to the degree that we had seen it before. So episode 6 like really brought that back in a big way. Yeah. And I liked that. It's great.
Well, with that, let us talk about our top 3 favorite moments of this batch of episodes. Starting with you, Phil, what is your number 3 favorite moment?
My number 3 is Bix's revenge.
Oh, okay.
I thought I love Bix. I am scared for Bix. We are on Bix watch.
Bix watch 2K25.
I'm worried about her. I feel bad for her, but I love her. She's just great. And seeing her get a win in this in the way of exacting her revenge on her tormentor, who's given her so much PTSD, and potentially stopping the Empire from doing the same thing to a lot of other people by way of expanding Gorst's reach. It was just a very cathartic moment for Bix and by proxy us.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I like that pick. My number 3 is Vel yelling at Peter in the vehicle, because as a viewer, I was so happy that Cinta and Vel are reunited, but also Cinta's like, hey, I want to do this. Are we doing this, girl? Let's do it. Let's hold hands and leap into our future together.
Yes.
And it's taken away by this idiot.
Yes.
And so I'm just as angry as the audience member as Vel is. And so hearing her tear this dude down is just kind of like, yeah, get him.
Yes.
Get him. Drag him, girl. Love you.
Yes.
We stand Vel.
Yes.
Sinvel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hashtag Sinvel.
Sinvel. So that's my number 3. What about your number 2?
That was my 2.
That's your 2?
Yep. So I will not add anything else to it. I think you were 100% on that. What was your number 2?
My number 2 is Saw Gerrera's "Breathe it in, boy." His speech at the end. Maybe I should flip this to my number 3, but it gets little bit more. It gets more of an edge, I think, only because Forrest Whitaker is so amazing as Saw Gerrera. I could literally like give him the script to any movie and deliver it like Saw Gerrera. It's an infinitely better movie. Like give him the Glengarry Glen Ross, like coffee is for closers.
Yeah.
Always be winning.
Yeah.
Or always be closing. Sorry, the ABCs. I forgot them myself. I didn't read the script. Have you come to kill me? I love that man to death. And you kind of, you understand where Will's coming from because he's insane.
Yes.
And what he's talking about is wild, but his delivery and his passion, you're just kind of like, yeah, I'll huff that shit. give it to me. Let me breathe it in, brother.
I love the smell.
Oh, I love her. What about you? What's your number 1?
Okay, my number 1. Moment? So I was going to go with the whole scene where Clea and Lonnie are in the room and she's trying to
that's a good one.
Remove the bug, and like Krennic's there and Mon's there and Luthen's there, and it's very tense. And I was like, God, this is so good. Just like I am on the edge of my seat. It's a really good scene.
It's a wigwam and a teepee. It's too tense.
I gotta say, the moment where they walk out and it's her and Luthen and they make that joke and like she's gotten the bug and their relationship is repaired and their future is once again brighter than it was. That release was so good. And I think that is my number 1.
That is an excellent pick for number 1.
What is yours?
My number 1 is your number 3.
Oh yeah,
Bix, Ice, and Dr. Gorst.
Yeah,
like
man.
that was such a fist pump moment. Like what a way to end the episode, because we get this awful tragedy of Cinta dying, and then you get this big win with Clea and Luthen, and you get that great line, and then you get this big win with a bad guy being taken off the board.
Yeah.
And what a cathartic experience that is, because Bix had to go through this awful, and they really do a great job of, on paper, like you said, listens to scary noises.
Yes.
Like that's such a strange concept, but I think the show does an excellent job of showing that sucks.
Yes.
You don't want to go through that.
Yes.
And it's harming Bix, and we love Bix. And to see her get her revenge on the guy that so coldly did it.
Yes.
Got a taste of his own medicine. And then there's Andor blowing up the building. And now it's the two of them. They're back in the field.
So good.
Put them back in, coach. They're ready to go.
Dynamic duo.
I can't wait to see what shit they get into next week.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Well, that brings us to our favorite performance of the episode. Who are you going to go with this week?
Vel and her speech.
Faye Marseille?
Yes, to Peter. Holy shit. Just the sadness, and her speech to him was sad and cutting and just really well done. And they're in the truck.
Yeah.
And there's like the way the light is like flashing across her face, and like the just everything about that scene was so well acted. And I just like, I want to give it to her because she knocked it out of the park for me. So.
That's an excellent pick. I had 3 names written down of contenders.
Okay. Give me the 2 that you're not going to go with first.
Faye Marseille, who plays Vel, is definitely on my list. Forrest Whitaker, who plays Saw Gerrera.
Oh,
he'll always be on my list.
Damn, I'm trying to think of who your number 1 is now.
But this week, I'm going to give it to Adria Arjona, who plays Bix.
Yeah.
She does fantastic work as Bix all the time. She was on the short list last batch of episodes.
Yeah.
This batch, she's just as great as being this woman who's like is suffering from lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Her nightmares, her guilt, wondering if she can trust Luthen, if she can trust Cassian, and the way it all comes together. It's a really brilliant performance, and I think she's always at that level.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to, because I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, I think Phil's going to give it to Vel because Vel's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to Adria. So she gets her flowers too.
Good.
Sisters all doing it for themselves, man. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode, but not quite.
Ooh, should we get GONK back in here?
Bring him in here. Bring our robotic son in here.
What up, GONK?
Hey, buddy. Good to see. What have you been doing this whole time?
I'm so proud of you, GONK.
Oh,
you've grown into such a handsome, successful young GONK.
Yeah, he did really well with crypto.
GONK coin.
Oh, I would invest so hard in GONK coin. I don't even care if it does bad. Well, are you two ready to listen to the story that you put together, which is titled "Prepare for Battle"? The B-1 battle droid served during both the Underpants Wars as well as the invasion of the planet Boinkadoodle.
That actually could be her real thing.
Could be. Its weaponry includes an E5 blaster rifle and wet detonators.
Ew.
Firefighter battle droids are designed to fight handcuffs. Plot twist there. They're equipped with colonial puce backpacks and fire hoses that spray lube repellent foam.
Oh, shit.
Rocket battle droids function as circus clowns.
Okay.
When a sultry escape pod launches, it's their job to stop it. They use their rocket packs and blaster rifles to thrust the enemy into smithereens.
Kinky.
During the clone thigh highs, OOM pilot battle droids were streamed by the Trade Federation to caress an assortment of vehicles.
Weird.
The grapple battle droids were painted in lusty combat and used their grapple freaks as weapons. OOM command battle droids made a whip for themselves during the invasion of Jakarta.
Oh, jeez.
Where they fondled battalions of droid forces.
Oh, no!
Leave Jakarta alone!
Leave Jakarta alone, you freaks!
And thus concludes Prepare for Battle. What a great story you guys crafted. I like that one. Well, thank you both for showing up today. GONK, always a pleasure. Phil, always a pleasure. Audience, tune in later this week. We're going to have more The Last of Us coverage on Monday. Andy and Kit will be gone. Andy's getting married this weekend.
Ooh, congratulations, Andy.
Congrats to him. They're going to Curacao, an island in the Caribbean for that.
They don't go to Jakarta.
Well, yeah, they're going to get fondled if they do.
Fondled. Don't want that.
But they won't be here for the Last of Us coverage, but myself and friend of the show, Alex, will be hosting that one. So stay tuned for that.
Alex rules.
Alex does rule.
Yeah, he's cool.
There will not be a break in the Game of Thrones coverage. We have pre-recorded some of those. Those will release next week if you listen on Patreon. Go support us on Patreon. Go email us at streamingthingspod@gmail.com. Go follow us on Instagram. Do all that shit. Phil.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words before we cut it?
Well, so I hopped on the Discord this week after the last episode, and Discord user Ellie said that it would be cool if I shouted out 3 random Discord people each episode. So I'm going to do that now. Shout out to Ellie, shout out to Ruben, and shout out to Brett.
Brett X.
Brett X.
What 3 lovely people.
I know.
Who hail from a very lovely Discord.
Yes.
That has been all the time we have for today. We have to return some hollow discs. My name is Steve.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Steve. And this has been Streaming Things.
Happy streaming.